Ciao tutti! I am so excited for you to join me on this journey of gratitude stories, where I gather stories of others who have had gratitude expressed face to face, how it's made a difference in their life. You can make a difference every single day expressing gratitude. Join me on this journey. Don't wait to express gratitude today.
Ciao tutti, it's Kristen KP Speaks. I'm so excited because I have the phenomenal and well-known Mary Crafts. She is a legend here in Utah and throughout the United States. Her culinary skills and her catering company is the top catering company here in Utah. I was privileged enough to work for her right after I was divorced. And my first event was actually a wedding. I got a little teary-eyed, I have to admit, but something I learned was Mary is just always going, but not just going. She is helping people on their way. And she helped me personally just by watching her own example. And so I want to introduce Mary to you and have her explain a little bit about her journey and how she got to be this culinary guru here in Utah and also throughout the States.
Thank you, Kristen. I'm honored to be here on your little podcast. And you and I do go back a long ways to when you were just divorced and you had a love for food. So a catering company was a good fit for you. And back then I was still very much involved in the business and attending events and working and schlepping and cooking and sales and marketing and recipes. I mean, at that point I was still doing so much of it. And now here I am, 66 and retired. And a lot of people wondered why I didn't stay on, because I still, have such a passion for what I did with the food and the service aspect. But it was time for me to move on to something else, and I knew that. And so now I've discovered some new whys in my life and have gone on, I sold the company to my children, so the legacy lives on. But I get to go on and I started a new company, Mary Crafts, Inc., and pursue a new why in my life, new passions in my life. And I think that, my life in the previous years was not easy either. Like yours, I had many gifts given to me, also known as challenges. Mm-hmm. And that's how we grow, is through those challenges. And they cannot be seen as where we live as victims and why me and poor me, but those are the very things that are given to us as gifts to develop the talents we need to let go of fear, to progress on, to find new things that we're about. And now, at this stage, that's my new why. My new why is simply gratitude. I'm so grateful for the lessons I've learned and so grateful for the gifts that I've been given that I have to give back. And that involves lifting others, particularly women, as they find their way through life. They release the fears that have held them bound, and they find their inner badass. I didn't know I was one. I didn't know I had badass inside of me. But now at this age, I do. And I want to open those doors for other women that they can find that in themselves.
One thing I have learned from you is, with your first company, it was crafting a meaningful life. And it wasn't just about the food. It was about spreading and mentorship and sponsoring people. And I feel like that's what you're bringing with your Mary Crafts Inc. as well. And you do a lot of public speaking. And I recently saw that you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And I want to know just why did you choose to do that?
Oh, I don't know still. No. But I do know. I do have a better grasp of that. And at first, just knowing that I was going to be retiring, I set the goal when I when I was 60. And I was sitting next to a gentleman who was just finished climbing the 7 major peaks of the world, as well as sailing the 7 major seas. I was so inspired by him. Like, oh my gosh, what a feat to have done that. And I thought, if I could just even climb one of those mountains, or had any kind of a goal like that that would put my feet on the ground every single morning after I retired, that would be a great thing to have in my life, a new reason to get out of bed in the morning. And so I turned to him and I said, Martin, I want to do something like that. I mean, I don't want to climb all 7 of the major peaks, but I want to do something like that. He turned to me and he said, you shall climb Kilimanjaro. I will. Yes, you will. And you must do it in the next 5 years. And I know you can do this. I know you to be someone who has the physical prowess and the grit needed to do this. Do you agree? I said, I do. I wasn't quite sure what I'd signed up for, but I said yes. And so last January, when I realized I only had 6 months left to complete this goal, and I'm not one who says die, I decided, you know what, I've got to get to this.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because I had set the goal for myself. And I'm just not a believer in setting aside goals because they get too hard for us. I'm going to go. And so I did. And I trained for it, and I purchased it, and I climbed. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done, physically and mentally. I wasn't prepared for what going alone would mean to me, and how difficult that piece would be, to be cut off from, you know, my family, my friends, social media, the phone, everything. And it was harder than I thought it would be. I mean, the first day or two, I seemed to catch up and do fine, but then the toll of the exertion just began to weigh on me every single day. And the night before the summit, I just thought, I don't know if I can do this. And I think I left here, Utah, with a little bit too much confidence in myself. I had convinced everyone here in Utah and myself that I'm such a badass. I could do this, bang, bang, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, what I discovered was that the mountain did not care if I was a badass here in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
It only cared what I brought each and every day to that mountain. And so if there's a lesson from me to everyone, is that it's not about what you did in the last 10 years. It's not about what your goals are in the future. It's what you bring today. It's the only thing that matters.
I love that so
I
much.
think that is such a powerful lesson for us to think about every day. It's today that matters, only today.
It
And you
is.
must bring your best every single day.
And I think that is that's one of the messages I share with people, is living victoriously each day. For me, my mantra is today is a victory. And, you know, every day, even if it's just getting out of bed, for some people, getting out of bed is a victory. And, you know, being able to just show up and say, I'm going to keep moving forward, is a victory. And then you get to a point where, when you're, you know, in your state where you start practicing these things that you've been doing over and over and over again, gratitude, and just telling yourself, I can do this, it becomes who you are, and you're able to climb, you know, Mount Kilimanjaro or something like that. But it starts with the small little steps. In fact, I had a podcast interview last night, and I said, you know, it's not about brushing your teeth once every 2 months. It's about those little tiny steps every single day, brushing your teeth twice a day, and showing up, just moving forward, never giving up. And so I love that you know, that's something that you really stand for, and that you know, it's about today, showing up today. So with gratitude, you mentioned gratitude is really important to you. Has there been a moment in your life where someone has expressed gratitude to you in person, and can you remember it and how it affected you personally?
Yeah, of course, you turn to your family. You think about the times your family have expressed gratitude, and those mean so much, because, to be honest with you, they don't happen as often as they should. As parents and as children, we just seem like, well, yeah, you know I love you, so we're good, right? But they mean so much. I recently had my son take me to breakfast for no other purpose than to say to me, thank you, Mom. And thank you for always keeping me safe. And thank you for believing in me and telling me every night when I went to bed that I was something special. And I actually believed that growing up. And it's helped me hang on to it now. Those kind of moments that you receive from your family, there's nothing like them. And then gratitude moments that I receive from people who maybe attended a talk I gave maybe years ago. And they'll come up to me now and say, Mary, do you remember when you gave that talk, la, 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 la? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I said, well, I was there. And this is how it changed my life. And thank you. Because you don't know, Kristen, all the people that you touch. You don't know the ripple effect of how you live your life. All you can do is hope that you are making the right decisions and touching people along the way. And so when you have the opportunity to have people share those with you, that's what makes life the very most meaningful, that you know you have been fulfilling your mission and you really have been true to it all these years. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I have one very important question for you. If you could have anybody in this entire world just pop in front of you right now, who would it be and you could thank them for something, what would you say to them? Act like they're just right there with you.
It would be my mom and my dad. I haven't seen them for a long time. And they never knew me like this. Mm-hmm. Successful and full of life and lessons. So Mom, Dad, thank you for the powerful lessons that you taught me when I was little. They are what held me together during those times when I didn't know if I was worth holding together. Dad, you taught me how to run a business because you were so great at it. And Dad, you taught me how to serve others. I saw what you did. It had such a great impact on me. Mom, you were the best homemaker I ever knew. I thought you were perfect. I thought you knew everything. You taught me how to cook, and look what I did with it. I can't wait to hug you and hold you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. This has been such an honor, and I know that this message will touch a lot of people's lives. People want to get in touch with you if they want to have you speak for them, or, what is it that you do for others now with Mary Crafts Inc.?
Well, you can visit my website, which is marycraftsinc.com. And I have a website there that talks about my podcasts I do every week, that talks about my speaking engagements and what I do there. I'm going to next year launch a health and wellness part of my website, and that will be part of it. I'm writing my first book, but most of everything that I'm doing is available right there on my website at Mary Crafts Inc. And I would love to have you connect with me. I had someone connect with me the other day off the website and the phone number, and I answered the phone. And they went, excuse me, I think I have the wrong number. I was looking for the offices of Mary Crafts Inc. I go, yeah, that's me. I used to have people, but now I don't. It's just me.
MaryCraftsInc.com, and you're there. And I know you're there because you answer when I contact you on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're there. So
I'm there. I'm the real deal. I'm all there is.
Yes, I love it. Super approachable, super authentic, and super amazing. That is our Mary Crafts. Well, thank you so much for joining us with Gratitude Stories. And I hope that you have a fabulous day, everyone who's paid attention and watched till the end.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.